Welcome back to So You're Interested In, the show where I break down an artist's discography in order to give you, the viewer, the best possible jumping off point in order to get into their catalog. On this episode, let's talk about the rising post-punk act, Spiritual Cramp. Hailing from San Francisco, this band crafts tightly wound, explosive punk cuts that take influence from hardcore, garage, and indie rock along with influences of reggae and oi. Their sound is clearly eclectic, but it's rarely out of sync. They find the crossroads between all of these genres and morph them into their own concoction. Not only do all of their songs sound good, but they'll also make you want to dance your socks off. I haven't had the opportunity to see them live quite yet, but all that I've heard is that Spiritual Cramp puts on an electric show. If this is your first time ever hearing about Spiritual Cramp, then you're in luck, because their discography isn't too massive yet, so the time is now to give them a shot. And as per usual, I'll be recommending 2 albums and 3 individual tracks to help ease you into Spiritual Cramp's vibrant catalog. Let's kick things off with the albums. The first Spiritual Cramp album to check out is their 2023 self-titled effort. Bursting with energetic and fun post-punk tunes, this record will have you dancing throughout its entire 26-minute runtime. They have a character and attitude that is unmatched, dripping their signature swagger onto each of these 10 cuts. The first song to catch your ears will most likely be Slick Rick, mainly thanks to the incredible sounding guitar licks and super deep percussion smacks. It also helps that the vocal melody is great, and the lyrics are so much fun to sing along with. It's got this real classic rock and roll mindset with modern flair. Slick Rick is one hell of a tune to start off with when getting into this captivating outfit. Another banger comes in the form of Talkin' on the Internet, which will cater to your garage rock taste perfectly. The bass line is smooth and wicked all at the same time, acting as more of a backbone than the percussion itself. And you'll find it hard not to shout out the hook when Michael Bingham sings "You're Always Talking on the Internet." Also, if you're a fan of Viagra Boys, then you're gonna want to seek this one out. Another one that will please Viagra Boy fans is Better Off This Way. It's got this massive, stadium-sized hook that could erupt any venue with ease. The streaky guitars and excellent drumming help to set this tune apart from the rest due to its danceability, and it also serves as a great glimpse into Spiritual Cramp's bright future. Once you hear Better Off This Way, you'll begin to wonder how you ever survived without Spiritual Cramp in your life. One last song that I'd like to mention is Catch a Hot One. This is a departure from the 3 previous songs mentioned, as it is so much more moody and melodramatic. It does sound fantastic though, with the instrumental arrangements coming together in such a satisfying way. Plus, it's actually kind of fun to sing along with the hook that is filled with drug references and depressive outlooks. Spiritual Cramp, the album, showcases the best aspects of Spiritual Cramp, the band, and will serve as a perfect starter album for any new fans. Next up, I think you should listen to their 2018 LP, Television. Technically, this is considered a compilation due to the majority of the songs being found on previous EPs, but for all intents and purposes, I'm calling this an album. The one big reason to call this a comp, however, is the fact that this track listing is super varied, as the band navigates through a menagerie of sound palettes and styles. For instance, the opening track, The Eraser, turns your attention to Bingham's crooning vocals, and this awesome bass line that's way too easy to groove with. One thing that is very apparent only one song in is that this band is not afraid to wear their influences on their sleeve, as this certainly comes across as a Talking Heads joint. It's still a jamming cut, especially thanks to the disjointed but on point instrumental under the hook. The deep vocal tones continue over to the track Television, as the lyrics seem as though they're performed in a stream of consciousness approach, only adding to the overall uneasiness of the song. The band was definitely influenced by the Clash's dub stylings, and it works damn well on Television. Then we get to the song Spiritual Cramp, which is a rip-roaring good time. All of the instruments are working overtime to churn out this blast of a garage rock tune. It gets the blood pumping, it has some fun sing-along lyrics in the hook. Yeah, this is a great song to bump loud as fuck. Before we make our way over to the tracks, I do want to spend some time with the song Tenderloin. If the dub influence that I mentioned earlier wasn't apparent on Television, then I think it'll stand out here a bit more. Tenderloin is likely an homage to the city of San Francisco, but it's also most certainly a cool person's song. I can picture having a smoke outside of a concert with the muffled sounds of Tenderloin escaping from the walls within. It might not be a song that sticks with you quite as much as a song like The Eraser, but it's still a worthwhile track nonetheless. And that goes for Television as a whole. I wouldn't be surprised if you end up liking more songs from the self-titled effort, but this is still absolutely worth your time. Now that we're through with the albums, let's talk about some tracks. The first Spiritual Cramp song that I think you should be listening to is Wrecking Machine from the band's 2017 EP, Mass Hysteria. This was actually the first Spiritual Cramp song I ever heard, and I do think it's great for new listeners. This is mainly due to the fact that Wrecking Machine has such a unique sound attached to it. It very much feels like a Modern Lovers or early Parquet Court song, so if that's your vibe, then you know what to do. It lies much closer to art punk than the majority of their other material, not because these other songs lack the arty aesthetic, but because this song in particular is overflowing with it. It's unpolished and raw, making it sound like shit in such an endearing way. At the end of the day, Wrecking Machine isn't this mind-blowing cut, but it is short and punchy enough to be worth a fair shot. Next up, I think you should tune into the song Rattlesnakes in the City from the 2021 EP, Here Comes More Bad News. This is yet another swagger-filled track that is exploding in sound and attitude. If you're going through these tracks in the order that I'm recommending them, then you'll begin to notice the energy level rising with each subsequent song. And honestly, I think this song jumps the shark a bit on that claim, as Rattlesnakes in the City could have easily been a B-side to the self-titled 2023 album. It's another one of their shorter cuts, falling just beneath 2 minutes in runtime, so you're in for a quick blast. It might not stick as much as some of their other catchier, hook-filled songs, but Rattlesnakes in the City should still be required listening for any incoming Spiritual Cramp fans. Last but certainly not least, you're gonna have to listen to Nah That Ain't It from the 2023 EP, Spiritual Cramp Meets the True Color Sound System. Right off the bat, you're hit with one of their best sounding guitar riffs in all of their discography. It's sleek and swift, breezing by you in such a pleasant and bright way. Then they hit you with the vocals, which somehow have never sounded better, and that includes the self-titled album. Try your best not to sing this hook, I guarantee that you'll fail, and this will end up on so many of your playlists. Nah That Ain't It has such a great vibe and groove to it, it'll infect your whole body within a first listen. Honestly, put this in a Taco Bell commercial, you cowards. If they do end up using this song in a commercial, I will be revisiting this video as a told you so moment. Do not skip out on Nah That Ain't It, you're only hurting yourself. And that will conclude my video covering Spiritual Cramp. Links to all the albums and tracks discussed here will be located in the video description box below. Scroll down even further to the comment section where you can let me know if you liked any of the albums or tracks that I picked here. Maybe you're a huge Spiritual Cramp fan and you think that I fucked up this list, that's fine. Go to the comments and let me know. While you're down there, you can also recommend any other artists that you would like to see covered on show you're interested in. I always appreciate your suggestions and feedback, so please keep it coming. And if you can't stop talking about music, if that's all that you want to do, then might I recommend joining the Forever Spinning Discord server. We're talking about old music, we're talking about new music, we're talking vinyl, we're talking hot takes, new trends, we're just shooting the shit. There's a link in the description below. We would love to have you, so please join in on the fun. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Forever Spinning, as I do drop new videos just like this every single Monday. I also do other shows on here like Stacks of Wax, Where It's At, The Variety Show. There's always new content to be consumed. That is going to do it this week, outside of my usual reminder for you to go out and support your local record store if you were able to, along with the local artists in your area, and well, till I see you next time, happy listening.